is the 1st of December 2013. You're watching KTN Weekend at One. My name is Najma Ismael. The world counts its victories against the HIV virus, even as experts warn that we're not out of the woods yet. On the 25th anniversary of the World AIDS Day, 1 million babies are reported to have been born HIV negative to HIV positive mothers. However, the war against stigma continues. Here in Kenya, Narok residents have taken the fight against HIV/AIDS to another level. Winnie Kamau brings us the Masai Moran strategy against new HIV infections.
It's the 25th anniversary of the World AIDS Day, and Kenyans have joined the world in strengthening the fight against HIV and AIDS. Kajiado County has moved a notch higher to educate the Masai Morans on how to protect themselves as they observe the deep-rooted culture of spearing.
There is this issue of Moranism, whereby most of the young guys from the age of 15, they normally go and have sex, indiscriminate sex with the girls.
The Morans are more affected since they often engage in sexual behavior without the use of protection. The spearing culture, where the Moran uses a spear to mark their territory in manyatas, is a culture that has intrigued many but also raised concerns amongst the youth who do not use protection. This is why a workshop was conducted to help raise awareness amongst the Maasai youth.
Na nimeona watu kabila zingine wanasema Wamasai hawajui kujikinga kwa hii ugonjwa ukimwi, lakini hiyo naona kweli wamejidanganya.
It is better for people to be sensitized and be educated for them to know more about this disaster.
At this workshop, they were taught on how to protect themselves by using condoms, a rather taboo subject. Polygamy has also been cited as one of the contributors to the rise of HIV infections.
We have formed support groups in the community whereby they talk on one-on-one, and we see it is working.
The use of ball games and plays depicting the lifestyles of the pastoralists were used to send a message to the youths. The climax of the event was the crowning of winning youths of the best performance. The top prize was a goat. Statistics show that over 1.6 million people are living with HIV in Kenya. Winnie Kamau, KTN.
Now, the battle against AIDS is being won with deaths down. Record numbers of people being treated and new cases among children down by more than half. But ongoing discrimination against sufferers is the biggest obstacle to winning the war. In Tajikistan, health authorities and non-governmental organizations are asking the public to take the time to test for HIV this week. Assisted by the European Union, Tajik NGOs are offering free tests as part of an HIV and AIDS awareness week ahead of World AIDS Day being marked today. The United Nations estimates that some 12,000 people are living with HIV in Tajikistan, which has a population of nearly 8 million people. Pastoral communities in Turkana and West Pokot counties have been put on notice over the increasing cases of cattle rustling. Deputy President William Ruto, while attending the Kenya Pastoral Week in Lodwar, warned those engaging in violent activities in the area that the law will not spare them. Ruto said that the government is tackling insecurity that has been heightened by warring communities. A recent attack led to an extreme hostage situation, of the residents of Lorokon village in Turkana County.
Take a whole village hostage and pretend that they can match government with matters of, they are joking, they don't know what they are talking about. Because we have a mandate from the people of Kenya to ensure that the property and the life of every Kenyan is safe. And that mandate we are not going to negotiate with anybody. No criminal, nobody. We will make sure that it is so, because that is what the Constitution says. And we will pay whatever price to ensure that it is done. So I want to give you my assurance. I want to give you my assurance.
The campaign trail heats up in Bungoma as the candidates seek to convince the voters that they are best suited to become their senator. Francis Ontomo is following the campaigns, and here is his report.
Wale wote ambao wanataka kuwa presidents are not in parliament. Raila is not in parliament. Kalonzo is not in parliament. Musalia here is not in parliament. Wamalwa is not in parliament. Haya, sasa nikasema huyu mtu mkimpatia kura atakuwa anatafuta mambo yake ya kuwa president, hawatawafanyia kazi kama senator katika county yetu ya Bungoma. Okay? So let him, if he has set his eyes on the presidential bid for 2017, wacha atafute huko nje na niwache mimi nifanyie watu kazi, watu wa Bungoma kama senator.
The one you love the one you have. And I'm the one you have.
Tufufue viwanda vyetu kama hii ya Pan Paper ambayo tayari investors wako tayari kuifufua next year. That is what we are talking about. Mukisupport hii team. Hii ndio team ambayo inaenda kuleta hayo mabadiliko na yale maendeleo tunayotaka.
Joho Hassan, yeye ni Muislamu, yeye ni mrengo wa code, si ndio? Muliona vile alisimama pale anakaribisha rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya pale na kusema sisi tunaunga muradi, rais wewe kuja, huyu ni muradi wetu, sisi tunaunga. Na hapa rais akijaribu kuja hapa mnaambiwa msikuzungumze na huyo rais. Na ni nani wamezungumza wamemkaribisha Uhuru kule? Ni wakina nani hao? Joho na yule madamu Mishi, Omar Hassan. Viongozi wa kule ambao ni wa mrengo wa CORD wanamkaribisha rais kwa mradi wa maendeleo, na hapa sisi tunaambiwa msizungumuze na yule jamaa. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka mufahamu kabisa, tusipotoshwe na propaganda, tupige kura kwa njia ya amani, tutoke kwa wingi wakati ule na tuchunge kwamba kura isiibwe mara ya pili.
Nyakach MP Aduma Awor's parents, who were brutally murdered in their rural home 3 weeks ago, were today laid to rest in an emotionally charged send-off. The funeral that attracted more than 40 MPs, senators and governors from around the country comes at a time when insecurity has reached an all-time high in the volatile borders between Kisumu County on one hand and Kericho and Nandi counties on the other.
After waging a high-profile campaign against rising insecurity in his constituency, Nyakach MP Aduma suffered the ultimate loss with the death of his parents, who were burned to death in their Kabete village home. Today at their funeral, the anguish was palpable as speaker after speaker railed against the police and the government.
A government that cannot secure lives and property of its citizens has got no business being in power. Yes. And the security apparatus in Kisumu County must be overhauled upside down.
Cattle rustling, the vice that the legislator has declared war against, has lately become a hot topic in the region as crime spirals out of control.
To trust that Jubilee will deal with insecurity is like playing drums to a monitor lizard. Kenyans must wait another 4 or 5 years until the CORD coalition takes power for Kenya to be secure. That if it has to respond in the next 1 week, I, David Ochieng, will move a motion in Parliament to impeach Kimaio. I'll do that.
The occasion also served as a platform for bashing the government on its failures.
What is happening, we warned them, we told them that these two people who are running for president and deputy are not known to have fought for democracy and are not known to be tolerant. Now you helped them to become president and deputy. Shaurien!
6 suspects arrested and charged with the murders were last week released due to a lack of evidence from police. From Kisumu County, I am Fredo Mulo.
Now, age is nothing but a number, maybe just a saying to many, but to former Transport and Licensing Board Chairperson Hassan Ole Kamwaro, it is a reality. 69-year-old Kamwaro married his 23-year-old bride Eunice Sisyon in Narok County. The traditional wedding ceremony held at Kamwaro's home in Rotian was witnessed by leaders from all over Narok. Kamwaro lost his first wife through a tragic road accident. His second wife, however, disappeared without a trace, while Kamwaro was undergoing treatment for a neck ailment in the US. The 69-year-old now says he's happy with his new wife. The couple will enjoy their honeymoon at Kamwaro's camp in the Masai Mara.
And my neighbors here decided that I must get married. It wasn't forced, but I was convinced you cannot stay alone. Sometimes you collapse, sometimes you unwell. My children, as many as they are, they can't. They have some limitation where they can assist and where they cannot. Therefore, it's my happiest day to have a Eunice as my companion, and in this traditional union or marriage.
Well, congratulations to the bride and groom. Moving on, Barbara Kemigisa is a true representation of living positive. As a prelude to World AIDS Day today, the Survivor Series crosses the border to Uganda, where Wilkista Nyabwa spent a day in the life of person living with HIV.
This is yummy. Do you love this one?
For young Courtney Kemigisa and her 27-year-old mother Barbara, every day starts with a cocktail of pills. The drugs they take twice a day help to keep them alive. They are both living with HIV, meaning that they are infected with a human immunodeficiency virus, which can, without proper treatment, eventually lead to AIDS. Barbara had a troubled past and, like many young women in Uganda, lived a life which made her vulnerable to the virus.
Put on your shoes. I'm going to put It's just when I was 6 years old when I started having sexual abuses from my uncles, and this went on until I was 11. These were actually 2 uncles. I was primitive in the village, like so ignorant about everything, so I did not know I actually was having sex. When I got into high school, I joined this kind of group, and peer pressure pushed in, and I had to start living this kind of reckless life. I learned how to drink alcohol, I smoked once, I had multiple partners, I would go clubbing. Basically, it was a life most young people live, and that's what I lived until the time came when I felt really used up and worthless and started condemning myself in each and every way.
Once a month, mother and daughter go to be medically monitored and to collect their drugs from government health facilities. In Uganda, it is estimated that just over half of those in need of antiretroviral drugs can access them. Barbara and Courtney live in the country's capital, Kampala, and for them, treatment and drugs are accessible and free of charge. It is recommended that all HIV-positive children under the age of 2 start receiving ARVs. Dr. Serubanja examines Courtney for any side effects. It is important to monitor the patient's health status regularly.
Other things that a child has to do with HIV, they have to be immunized like all normal children. They have to have good nutrition so that they can grow and have a healthy life.
Barbara attends a different clinic. She has recently missed several doses of her medication owing to her busy schedule. Her doctor is concerned that this could set her back.
If you don't take your medicine well, it will work for a very short time. But if you take it well, you can take it for a very long time. And so far, you've taken it for 4 years. And for the 4 years you've been taking it, your CD4s have been rising, and you're healthier. And that should continue if you keep taking your medications well. And you can live a very long life even after this.
But I don't have AIDS, you know? I have HIV. Those two are different things. So it will take you to know all the information about HIV to be able to protect yourself against HIV. But it starts with you knowing your status.
Barbara is an activist for the prevention of AIDS, and she often speaks about getting tested and the treatment of the disease. Today, a business class at Makerere University is her audience.
We all have a role to play. Be a hero to yourself by knowing your HIV status.
Fortunately, life is not just HIV. It is sports day at Courtney's school, and mother and daughter are joyfully taking part in the activities. But life is expensive, and Barbara has to channel most of the funds she earns from speaking engagements to Courtney's education.
Actually, it's like I pay over 600 and above. When I look at her transportation, her school fees, and when you look at this place, it's quite, every facility is really like, it's an expensive school, but I get what like any parent would want for their kid. The fact that ARVs are free of charge, it is hope to people like me who cannot afford anything. Some people are trying to survive, and when you look at ARVs, it's the biggest part of us. I would say I need food, I need to go, everything, but without the ARVs, I can never live. I've done quite some good time of talking. If I'm to keep my fight bigger, I think I'm going to do beyond talking, and that's why I went into music, start singing. I'm going to sing about HIV, because to me, I want to see stigma end. I want to see a change in HIV. I want us to get to an HIV-free generation.
Hi! Although the government in Uganda provides massive support for AIDS prevention campaigns, nevertheless, many are afraid of testing. Last year, Barbara organized a test drive at the music studio where she records her music.
Me? I never tested.
Anyway, I'm here to break you and tell the world that you are wrong.
Barbara is not just HIV positive. She is absolutely positive about all aspects of her life and believes her journey to the top has only just begun.
Step on, let's break the silence. Step on and take that beat.
Well, as we mark World AIDS Day, we salute Barbara and many others out there who are living positively. We'll now take a short commercial break. We will be back with more news. Welcome back. You're watching KTN Weekend at One. Actor Paul Walker, best known for his role in a series of films about fast cars, has died in a violent single-vehicle crash. Speed was a factor in the accident, according to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office. Here's more on the story.
Paul Walker, the star of the Fast and the Furious franchise, died in a fiery car crash in Valencia, California. A second person also died in the accident. According to his representative, the star was not behind the wheel when the Porsche hit something and exploded in flames. The car crash happened around 3:30 p.m. just north of Los Angeles. Walker wasn't just a car enthusiast on the silver screen. Off-screen, the actor competed in the Redline Time Attack racing series. Walker had been filming the latest installment of The Fast and the Furious at the time of his death. The actor is survived by his 15-year-old daughter, Meadow. I'm Martha Shade reporting.
Moving on to sports now, double world champion and former record holder Asbel Kiprop and Mika Kogo will lead Kenyan athletes at the inauguration of Zayed Charity 10-kilometer road race in the United Arab Emirates on 31st of January 2014. The race will be held at the Abu Dhabi along Yas Marina Road, which is used for hosting Formula One circuits. The race, which is organized by Fahad Abdulaziz Al Barik, is a charity run to support kidney patients from all over the world. The team led by Fahad had visited visited Kipchoge Keino High Altitude Performance Training Center in Eldoret and also invited Dr. Kipchoge to grace the occasion as a veteran athlete. Former 10-kilometer world record holder Mika Kogo, who is a road run specialist and a marathoner, will lead his running mate Emmanuel Bet, Mesha Kosgei, Ezekiel Kosgei, and other 8 road race specialists to the occasion.
My Kidney Foundation 10-kilometer race in Abu Dhabi in January.
For us to have a relationship with your country and your leaders is the most important for all of us, that we develop sports to improve the standard of the youth of our countries, and also with the leadership of our own countries, and get together and develop a unity among our countries is the most important.
Well, thank you very much for watching KTN Weekend at One. My name is Najma Ismael. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.